Now let's talk about something that's making headlines this week. Iraqi Prime Minister Al-Sudani has stirred the conversation again with a bold statement regarding a new currency for Iraqi citizens. Naturally, this has raised a lot of questions. What does he mean by a new currency? Is this about printing more of those large 3-0 notes like the 25,000 and 50,000 dinar bills? According to the Central Bank of Iraq, that's not the case. They've officially stated that there are no current plans to release additional high-denomination notes such as the 20,000 dinar bill. This is a key clarification because it steers the discussion in a different direction. If it's not about adding more high-value notes, then what is this announcement really referring to? There's growing speculation that Iraq may be planning to reintroduce smaller denomination banknotes, something the country hasn't widely used since the massive inflation and currency restructuring that led to the introduction of the large 3-0 bills. Lower denominations like the 250, 500, 1,000, and 5,000 dinar notes were once part of everyday life. Reintroducing these could signify a major shift in Iraq's monetary policy. This isn't just about replacing paper. It's about rebuilding a system that works for the average citizen. Right now, many Iraqis struggle with the inconvenience of high-value notes for small purchases. Imagine going to a market to buy groceries or pay for a taxi ride and having to use a 25,000 dinar note. Not only is it inefficient, but it also reflects a currency system that no longer matches the daily economic reality. Reintroducing smaller denominations would make everyday transactions more manageable and potentially improve public trust in the currency. When people see their government making thoughtful moves to restore practicality and stability to the monetary system, confidence in the currency naturally grows. But this kind of reform doesn't come without challenges. The transition must be carefully managed. The central bank will need to ensure there's adequate circulation of these lower denomination notes to prevent shortages or market disruptions. A big question remains: what happens to the old 3-0 notes? Will they be gradually phased out? Will they continue to be accepted during a transition period? These are important concerns because people across Iraq still hold large sums of currency in these denominations. A sudden switch without clear communication could lead to panic or confusion. That's why public education and transparent government messaging will be essential if this transition is going to work. It's also worth considering the timing. With elections on the horizon, a move like this could be politically strategic. Al-Sudani might be looking to gain favor by presenting himself as a reformer who's working to improve the country's financial system. Whether this announcement will resonate positively with voters or raise skepticism is yet to be seen. But we can't ignore the fact that these decisions often carry political motivations. Historically, other countries have made similar transitions. Turkey, for example, successfully implemented a currency reform in the early 2000s, removing 6 zeros from their lira. But it wasn't just about printing new bills. It took a nationwide effort to educate the public, update pricing systems, and ensure a smooth switchover. Iraq will face similar challenges if it follows through with this plan. Now let's talk about the broader project that's been under discussion for years: the deletion of the zeros. The Iraqi government has been exploring the idea of removing 3 zeros from the dinar. The main reason? To simplify the currency system and make it more efficient. In the current setup, even routine purchases involve large numbers. Paying 10,000 dinars for a simple item just doesn't make sense in a modern economy. With the deletion of zeros, a 1,000 dinar note could become a 1 dinar note, making it easier to manage and understand money across the board. But there's a lot of misunderstanding about how this would affect currency value, especially for those holding dinars outside Iraq. If you own dinars abroad, your notes don't instantly lose value just because the zeros are removed. The value stays the same until a more significant event like a revaluation occurs. This is often referred to as the RV, or revaluation, a process where the official exchange rate of the currency is adjusted, potentially increasing its value in global markets. For people inside Iraq, the shift might look more immediate. As new notes enter circulation and the exchange rate is adjusted, daily life will start to reflect the new values. But it's important to realize that deleting zeros isn't just a math trick. It changes how people perceive and interact with money. It could lead to stronger national pride and renewed trust in the banking system if handled correctly. Financially, this is crucial for Iraqi citizens. Many families store savings in dinars. If the transition is poorly managed, people could lose money. But if it's done well, the value of those savings could be preserved or even grow. Understanding the full scope of this plan is the first step in making informed decisions. Should people exchange their old notes now or wait for the new ones? These are personal decisions, but they should be based on accurate information, not rumors. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two friends. Ahmed lives in Baghdad, and Samir lives abroad but owns Iraqi dinars. When the new notes are issued, Ahmed will likely go to a bank and exchange his current currency for the new lower denomination notes. If the system changes from 1,000 dinars to 1 dinar, the exchange rate will reflect that. Meanwhile, Samir living outside Iraq may not notice any immediate changes in the value of his currency. But if a revaluation occurs later, his holdings could increase in value significantly. That's why it's not just about holding dinars, it's about knowing when and how to act. So when is all this going to happen? As of now, there's no official launch date. But Iraqi government officials have confirmed that they are making preparations. This means it's not a question of if, but when. That's why it's vital to stay informed and pay attention to reliable news sources, government announcements, and economic reports. Education will be a key factor in navigating this transition. Many people still have questions about prices, wages, cost of living, and more. As more details become available, having a clear understanding of what to expect will empower citizens to protect their savings and make smart financial decisions. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and share it. This is the kind of information that can really help others prepare and stay informed. And we want to hear from you. What's your opinion on Iraq potentially removing zeros from its currency? Are you optimistic about this reform, or do you have concerns? Let us know in the comments. Your input is valuable and it helps shape the conversation. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future updates on this topic or other financial news that affects you. We appreciate your time and look forward to continuing this important discussion about Iraq's currency and what the future might hold.